We all know he felt sympathy for Freya, but it was deeper than this. Kratos didn't kill Baldur simply because Freya begged for her son's life. He didn't do it because she deserved to live, or even because Baldur deserved to die. The truth is, Kratos killed Baldur to break the cycle. A cycle of vengeance, blood, and gods destroying their own kin. A cycle he was once a part of, one he had suffered from, one he had contributed to. Let's rewind. By the time Baldur and Kratos clash in the final moments of God of War, so much is built up beneath the surface. Baldur, cursed with invulnerability by Freya, had lived a life devoid of sensation. He couldn't feel pain, or pleasure, or anything. It drove him insane. And when he finally learned that his own mother was the one who cursed him, he didn't just want to lift it, he wanted to destroy her. For Baldur, killing Freya was his way of reclaiming agency, of finally feeling something. But for Kratos, this wasn't just another godly squabble. This was a direct echo of his own past. Kratos had once killed his father, Zeus. He had watched gods tear each other apart over pride, betrayal, and revenge, and he had paid the price. This is why he stopped Baldur. Because it wasn't just about saving Freya, it was about saving someone from doing what he had once done. It was about preventing another son from murdering their parent, and starting yet another loop of hatred. Kratos saw the path Baldur was on, and he knew exactly how it ended. But there's another layer to this. Atreus, Kratos' son, was watching, learning, absorbing everything like a sponge. Every decision Kratos made, every fight he'd picked or avoided, was shaping the kind of god Atreus would grow into. And this moment, this brutal, tragic moment, was one of the most important of them all. Kratos had the power to let it happen. He could have stood aside and let Baldur do what he wanted, but instead, he made the harder choice. Not just the violent one, but the moral one. Because what kind of message would that send to his son? That revenge is justified when it hurts you enough? That a parent's mistake earns them death? That gods are doomed to repeat the same bloody patterns? No, Kratos wanted better. For Atreus, for himself, and for the realm. And ironically, even though Freya was the one being saved, she couldn't see it that way. She screamed at Kratos, cursed him, swore vengeance for her son's death, but Kratos accepted it, because he knew she wasn't wrong to grieve, and he also knew she'd one day understand.
Because he knew she wasn't wrong to grieve, and he also knew she'd one day understand.
Kratos didn't expect thanks. He didn't need validation.
That moment wasn't about heroism, it was about doing what was right.
Even if everyone else saw it as wrong, this wasn't a battle of good versus evil. It was a tragedy, a choice between two wrongs. Let Baldur kill his mother or kill Baldur to stop it. There was no victory, only a chance to end the suffering. It's poetic in a way. The ghost of Sparta, once a monster feared across Greece, now standing in a Norse forest, choosing mercy through death, choosing wisdom over wrath, choosing to stop a god from becoming what he once was. That's the power of Kratos' character arc. He's not the same man who slaughtered Olympus out of rage. He's a father now, a guide, a man trying to keep his son from inheriting the same sins. And this is why that moment hit so hard. It's not just about Freya or Baldur. It's about Kratos trying to rewrite fate, not with weapons, but with choice.
A god of war choosing to be something more.
And though Freya swore vengeance and Baldur died with hatred in his heart, Kratos walked away, knowing he did the only thing he could do. He didn't just save a life, he preserved a future. Because sometimes the strongest thing a god can do is break the cycle. And breaking the cycle isn't easy, especially for someone like Kratos, whose entire past is soaked in the blood of gods and monsters alike. But that's what makes it so powerful. Kratos' decision to kill Baldur wasn't a return to his old ways. It was a final rejection of them.
He didn't kill out of rage.
He didn't do it for revenge. He did it to protect a future that might finally be different from the past. And that's what God of War 2018 is truly about at its core. Not just epic boss battles and mythological creatures, but the struggle to change. The struggle to be better. Kratos is constantly fighting against his instincts, his trauma, and his legacy. And in that moment, he proved that even a god of war can choose peace.
It's heartbreaking because no one thanks him. No one understands, not even Atreus fully grasps the weight of what just happened.
Freya turns against him. Baldur dies, believing he was robbed of his justice. And Kratos is left once again to carry the burden of doing the right thing, alone. But that's the beauty of it. That's what makes him a hero, not just a killer. He didn't kill Baldur because he had to. He killed him because he chose to stop the hate.
Because someone had to.
Because the next generation, Atreus, was watching. And maybe one day Freya will see that. Maybe one day Atreus will understand it too. But even if they don't,
Kratos knows, and